and welcome back to the Raising Amazing Tween Girls podcast and show. I'm Lisa Tony with GirlTribe Nation, and I'm so happy that you're joining me today. Now, we have been in the midst of a season when we are talking about goals, all things goals. It's a great time to do that in January when we have all things new, off with the old, on with the new. And so, as we talk about New Year's resolutions and kind of setting our course for what we want our year to look like, it's a great time to really think about goals, wrestle with goals, and make sure that we know how to do them in a way that is helpful, in a way that is setting us up to win. So we're talking about goals because we want you as a mom to be able to have some good goals in your own personal life and also in your parenting with your tween daughter. But we also want you to know how to talk about goals with your girls, because when we teach goals, then we are setting our girls up to know how to succeed. We are teaching them a skill that is going to help them to be able to find success for the rest of their lives. Often we don't talk about goals when we're young. It isn't until we're older and we start getting a lot more mistakes in our belts that we are like, man, I need to figure out some new things to do differently. But it's never too late or never too early to start setting goals. Now, we don't need to set huge goals. Sometimes setting small goals is the best thing to do. And so today, we are going to be talking about the best way to fix a goal when you've fallen off the wagon. Now, this is something that's so important, how to fix a bad goal. What do we do when we've made a mistake? Because it's all too easy for us to bail, to give up and say, I can't do it. It's too hard. I'm giving up. I'm giving in. I'm throwing in the towel. That's it. I just can't do this. It's too hard. I don't have it in me. There's so many excuses that we use, often because it's hard to change, right? We don't want to quit eating sweets because it's just hard. I'm right now in the middle of a 40-day sugar fast, and I'm telling you, it's hard. But there's also things that really come in our way. We get busy or we get distracted or we don't plan well. And so much of seeing your goals come to fruition and finding some success is all about planning well. And so today we're going to be talking about how we can look at a few things that really get in the way of helping us to accomplish our goal. Things that we need to do to tweak a goal, change it up, make it work. How to change your goal to find success. So what we want to look at today, and perhaps this is coming at a perfect time. Maybe you and your daughter or you and your family have set some goals and you're like, oh, we're not finding success in this. So these are some good questions and some good things to think about. The first thing we want to ask is this goal too big? Have we bitten off more than we can chew? I mean, when your kids are little and they're just learning to use a knife, we want to try and give them that, empower them and teach them that skill. But boy, they sure like to cut off those big bites, right? It's just easier for them. They don't want to cut all those little pieces up. And they're used to mom being able to do that for them. So they end up with a giant piece of potato or a giant piece of meat, or, they start gnawing off their fork and you're like, put it down. You need a smaller bite. Or have you ever had someone choke on a bite that is just too big? Oh man, last summer we were sitting out at our picnic table and my third child started choking, like the real choke where he couldn't breathe, couldn't talk. And so my husband had to get up and did the Heimlich maneuver on him, and out flew a piece of meat that he was choking on. It was too big and he couldn't swallow it. It's scary when that happens. Well, we get scared sometimes when our goals are too big. And so we need to make sure that we are having bite-sized little pieces in our goals, that we are making sure that if the goal is too big, we're not finding success, then we need to figure out a way to slice it up again. We need to go back to the drawing board and dissect it. Now, we've talked a little bit about how goals are kind of like puzzle pieces. Well, if that puzzle piece is too big, you need to figure out a way to cut it in two. You need to make a new puzzle out of that one puzzle piece. So sometimes we just don't spend enough time thinking about the different steps that it takes to reach a goal. And when we've we've asked ourselves to reach a goal that's too big, then we have to take a giant step and it's just too much. We can't quite reach it. And so we get frustrated. So I want you to think about the goal that you've set that you're having trouble realizing. And I want you to look at it as being a really big thing. And I want you to start thinking about ways that you can make it smaller. What are some ways that you can kind of zoom in and really get some more focus on a very specific aspect of the goal? So if your goal was to get healthier, well, maybe that was too big of a goal. What specific areas do you want to get healthier in? Do you need to drink more water? Most of us need to drink more water. And so that can be a small goal that you can set that maybe you can find some victory in, and then you can move on to another goal to reach that big goal of getting healthier. So for example, I set a goal of wanting to drink more water. But again, that's not very specific. That isn't a SMART goal. So I used our SMART strategies that I taught you a few weeks ago. And I said, okay, what I'm going to do is every morning I am going to get up and drink 16 ounces of water, the first thing I do when I get up. So when I get up in the morning, I use the restroom, and then I usually go out to the kitchen. And even before I get my phone, before I let the dog out, anything, I fill up 16 ounces of a big glass of water and I drink it. And so that it starts my day off with 16 ounces of water in my body. And I know that is a way to help get me healthier. Now, do I need to eat better? Yes. Do I need to exercise more? Yes. Do I need to cut out more sweets? Yes. I mean, all of those things are pieces of the pie, that I need to do to get healthier. But that was just too big of a goal. I needed some more specific things, smaller things to be able to do to help get some wins in that area. And now as I'm getting used to being able to drink 16 ounces of water every morning, I can add another goal. Maybe 16 ounces of water at every mealtime, 16 ounces of water when I sit down for a snack in the afternoon. I can start to block it because I'm starting to see some victory in that small goal that I set. Now, I've got some friends who want to drink a gallon of water every week. No, that's not right. A gallon of water every day. And they bought that really cute jug, and it's huge. And I bought one, and it was so heavy and it was too much water, and I felt overwhelmed. I just couldn't do it. That didn't work for me. I needed to take it down and make it smaller so that I could drink a lot of water, but I had specific times that were set to certain behaviors for me. Get up in the morning, drink water. Sit down for a meal, drink water, so that I was starting to reprogram my behaviors for small ways to get a bigger win towards that bigger goal. So if you have had a challenge with your goal, you've not seen as much victory as you want, I want you to back it up. And that's the same with your daughter as you're working with her. If she gets frustrated, gotta tell you, we've been working at the same goal for a long time of quitting a nail biting habit with my daughter. And I have just been trying everything, and it's been so hard. We haven't seen victory yet. And so every so often we have to back it up, look at that goal and say, okay, what can we try new that will help us to get some small victories to see a win in this area. Okay, so when it's too big, you're gonna make it smaller so that you've got a smaller bite-sized piece to take. And this also is going to give you a win. I mean, it's a really good lift to your spirit and your soul when you've got a small win. You're like, yes, I did it. Yes, I did it. And when you feel like you've got that victory, then it gives you the encouragement. It gives you the courage. It gives you the brave to go ahead and try to get another win because you're not feeling discouraged. You know, sometimes when we've got those big goals and we've fallen off the wagon, we haven't been able to reach those big goals, we get discouraged, and then we get depressed, and then we get frustrated, and then we get anxious, and then we get stressed. I mean, it just leads to this cycle of a black spiral, a black hole. And so we need to find ways to give ourselves these little wins. When we're doing that, it's just an awesome way to encourage your goal to move forward and keep working towards that bigger goal, what you have, that end in mind of what you've set for yourself. Now, the other thing I want you to think about as we look at the idea of fixing a goal that hasn't been as successful as we wanted is I want you to think about the timing, because the timing is really important. Now, I know we've talked about setting a time that you want to see this goal happen. So I'm not talking about it in terms of that, not like I've given myself 6 weeks. You may need to adjust your time frame. If you haven't had victory, you may need to say, okay, I'm going to give myself 8 weeks. But what I'm talking about is the time of the day that you are doing the thing that you have adjusted. So for example, if you, again, with the idea of getting healthier, maybe your goal is that you're going to start taking vitamins and your kids are going to start taking vitamins. So maybe you have a time of the day that you've been doing that and it hasn't been successful. So for example, this is a good one to talk about with my family because we have been usually doing vitamins in the morning. So I've tried different things. I keep them in the cabinet, I'll get them out. Sometimes I get busy with one of the kids and I forget to get them out. So then the oldest kid would get them out. Sometimes I've kept them on the table, but then some of my kids were eating more vitamins than they were supposed to be eating, just was a thing. So we haven't gotten a real successful win on that yet. So I'm still trying to figure out some ways to adjust this. But I have noticed for myself, I was never taking my vitamins in the morning. I was too busy doing everything else and I would forget about it. So I decided to adjust the time that I started taking my own personal vitamins. And I went to the dollar store and I got one of those pill boxes, you know, the grandma kind. I know, I did it because I'm starting to take more vitamins and I just put them all out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I've got all my vitamins in their little compartments and I put it next to my toothbrush. And now when I go to bed, I brush my teeth and then I take my vitamins. And it has worked so well for me. I don't know why. I also really love the idea that those vitamins are doing a lot to like nourish and make my body healthy while I'm sleeping. And I'm such a fan of a double win that just has been a good mentality for me. So I'm thinking about the idea right now of maybe trying to do that with my kids, where I give them each their own little pill box with their vitamins that are marked days and put it by their vitamins and see if we could start doing that at bedtime rather than breakfast. I don't know. You always think about doing vitamins right in the morning, but why not do them at night? So there's different ways that you can adjust the timing. You know, if it's not working to take the dog for a walk in the evening, can you take the dog for a walk at noon or in the morning? You know, we might just need to adjust the actual time frame, like flip it on end. Like I said I was going to get up and do this. Well, if you haven't been able to get up and do it, when is the time that you can switch the goal, readjust the goal, transition the timing to see if you can get a win and fix that goal that has not been happening. All right, friends. Well, today we've been talking about how to fix a bad goal, how to readjust the goal. Because you know what? The goal's not really necessarily bad. The idea behind the goal is good, but perhaps the way we've been setting about accomplishing the goal is what we need to change. So we are all about here encouraging you as a mom of your tween girl to set goals and help her set goals so that you can live smart, healthy, brave, and happy. We want tween girls to learn how to reach their goals because we know that when you are able to be a goal setter and a goal accomplisher, that you will find more success in your life. So as you guys continue to talk about goals and adjust them to make them work, I hope that as you have victory with one step forward and maybe 2 steps back, that you get back up on the horse and keep going. Keep working on adjusting those goals to get yourself a win. Because when you find that win, it feels good. You feel smart. You feel healthy. You feel brave. And you have a whole lot more happy in your life. I have a very special download that I want to give to you to help you through this process of learning about goals and setting goals, both for yourself and for your tween daughter. So you can download this for completely free by going to girltribenation.com/goals. There you'll have this download that is a worksheet that's going to help you work through the process of setting goals, how to track them, how to use SMART goal strategy, and set you up for success in learning about goals, teaching goals to your daughter, and putting some goals into practice. So make sure you download that cheat sheet. It's going to be really helpful to you as you navigate this process of goal setting. All right, friends, well, if this episode has been helpful to you, I want to invite you to share it with a friend. Make sure you click the button below to subscribe, and that will make sure that you get all of our episodes. You want to turn on notifications so that you get notified anytime that we have a new episode here at GirlTribe Nation of our Raising Amazing Tween Girls show. Thank you so very much for joining us. We absolutely love to encourage moms of tween girls and tween girls. We love you. We are cheering for you. We are rooting for you. I can't wait until next time. Bye for now.